Alright guys, so today I want to talk about a pair of loudspeakers that are regarded as the best value in all of hi-fi. I'm talking about the Pioneer BS22s. Now, if you're watching this video, then I have a feeling you're probably already familiar with these speakers, but just in case you're not, here's a quick rundown on what they are. Alright guys, so the Pioneer BS22s are a pair of compact 2-way monitors. They feature a 1-inch soft dome, a 4-inch woofer, they're rear ported, and they feature high quality 5-way binding posts. They have a price tag of roughly $130 US, and they can be found predominantly throughout North America at major stores like Best Buy. Now the question is, how do they sound? Alright guys, you know what? There's no need for a review on these things. If you're watching this, just go out and buy them. They're that good. Alright? So that concludes the review. Peace. Alright guys, just kidding. But seriously, these really are good loudspeakers, and they do a few things that very few others at this price point can even come close to pulling off. But before I talk about that, first let's talk about their general character. And their general character rests on the warm side of neutral. These are very easy to listen to speakers. Now, it's to the point where if you go into a Best Buy to listen to them, they're actually going to sound kind of dull in comparison to Sony and Klipsch offerings. But when you take them home and you put them on some good gear, man, they really come into their own. And what you're going to get is a speaker that's going to be surprisingly natural sounding. Yeah, the bass is definitely going to have a boost to it. The mid-range is going to be slightly warm, and the top end is going to be smooth. But for what you get, it's just stupid. So there's going to be two main things about these speakers that's just really surprising for the money. Number one is the driver integration. The guy who made these, Andrew Jones, did a great job integrating the tweeter and the woofer together. Now that doesn't sound like a big deal, but at $130, most speakers just sound like crud. And these speakers are very well blended to where the treble, the mid-range, the bass, it all just kind of seamlessly fits together, which is really awesome at this price point. And another thing is the mid-range. The mid-range, honestly, is more natural sounding than a lot of $500 speakers. Hell, even a lot of $1,000 speakers. It's just very tonally correct, and that is just absolutely amazing, especially when you pair these with a good tube amp. So that leads me to my final thoughts. Alright guys, so when you get right down to it, it's pretty tough to criticize a $130 pair of loudspeakers, especially speakers that are sold at major retailers like Best Buy. For what they are, they're absolutely fantastic. They're definitely geared more towards the music lover, for somebody who wants a warm presentation, for somebody who wants to be able to listen to their music for hours and hours on end without stress. These are great. They perform well in the desktop environment. They perform well in the living room environment. Now, they're not big enough to really fill a huge room with plenty of sound, so I wouldn't really use them for that. But otherwise, they're fantastic speakers for the money. The only thing that you need to know is they're very inefficient, so you might want to use some good solid-state muscle with them. And number two, no mounting bracket, which means you're going to have to get creative if you want to mount these. Otherwise, what can I say? Pioneer, you did a great job. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be able to replicate something like this anytime in the near future, but I'm glad we have them now, and thanks for watching, guys. Peace.